Hello and welcome back to Blank Thought. My name is Michael Williams. You might already know that already. I don't know, but here we are. So today what I've been working on is trying to hone my music theory skills, as well as my guitar skills, just music stuff all around, and that's what I do. I don't know if I do it on a daily basis. I guess I don't. But I'm trying to be better about that. I want to be a better musician and better songwriter and composer and all that such. So today what I'm going over is a little piece that I just started playing around with. It doesn't really have a purpose right now other than to just get a feel for what I'm doing, I guess. I might turn it into like a song at some point, a more finished and refined piece at some point, but right now it's just kind of for this purpose. And this is what I'm doing. I'm going to talk about what the piece opens up with as far as the chords go and things like that. I'm trying to get to know my fretboard better, and I'm trying to get to know music theory better. And the only way that I know how to do any of that is just practice. And by practice, I mean you gotta do it. Even if you don't know what you're talking about, you at least have to make an attempt so that you can get better. So let's talk about that. So this little piece, it opens up, I know that it opens up on a B minor. It's definitely a B minor. It's just one of those shapes, and it's up there, what is it, the 9th fret? Anyway, so you got your B, at the 9th fret. B, D, F sharp, B. It's very simple. And then it moves on to what I was thinking of as a D major 7, but I'm not actually playing a D in this at all. Generally, the D major 7, the root note, which would be my first finger here, depends on who you're talking to. My pointer finger here, that would be the D. But I'm not actually playing that note. I'm actually just playing an A, C sharp, and an F sharp, which means that I'm playing an inversion of an F sharp minor. And so that's really what that is right there. I guess it's an F sharp minor, and then I play an F sharp minor just in a different inversion right after that, which I almost feel is cheating because I'm moving from one chord to the same chord but just in different inversion, yet it sounds to me like a different chord. But when you break it down, it's the same notes. So that's interesting. Moving on, we'll have to figure out how to interpret that as far as music theory goes. Moving on. So after that, we have an A major. Very simple. Just a different inversion of it. It's a E, A, and C sharp. So you just have an A major there. I call it a B over E flat. So I've got an E flat as my bass note, and then there's a B and an E flat, which again I would almost call an E major 7, but I don't have any other harmonic information to call it an E major at all. There's E flats and there's a B. If I had, G sharp in there, maybe I could call it an E major 7. I don't know, whatever. But after analyzing it a little further, I went with calling it a B over E flat, because what I'm playing are the root and the third of the B, and then I'm doubling the third. So there you go. Then there's just an E5, or at least what I call an E5, which is very simply a E, B, E. So you got E, you got the 5th, and then you got an octave. Power chord, most basic stuff that you'll probably ever find on a guitar. After that, it's F sharp minor. So you got an F sharp, A, and a C sharp. So we're coming back where that chord comes back to us. And then finally an A major 7, which is definitely an A major 7 because what I'm playing, well, I'm not going to say definitely, I got plenty to learn, but we're going to go with it. A, E, A flat, C sharp, E. And that A flat is what makes it a major 7 chord, because that's if you're talking about, the root being A, the 7th of A is A flat, and then finally, or well, I guess you could also call it G sharp. Anyway, and then finally you have the 5th being the E, and then the C sharp is the 3rd of the chord. And, excuse me, and so the C sharp makes it major. That's my understanding, and there's a little bit of an embellishment where at that high E I'm embellishing with F sharp. And that is my analysis of this little thing, this little ditty that I'm going to do, this little, let's not bring that up. This little piece that I'm going to do. And yeah, so I kind of hope that you enjoy it for what it is, but at the same time, it's mostly just for my own personal academic purposes right now. So yeah, let's switch over cameras, switch over mics. You're going to hear a lot of the room now. We're going through an Electro Voice. It's really what it is. It's an omnidirectional interview mic, but I kind of like the sound of it. So here goes. We're starting with that B minor on the 9. And there you go. There you have it. That's the little dealio. That's the little dealio that I'm working on right now. Now again, that's definitely not complete. I just came up with that earlier today. I mean, just kind of fiddling around on the guitar. Some may even call it noodling. But that is the video for today. If there's anyone out there that's watching that is like well versed in music theory, guitar, and things like that, and maybe can see what my hands are doing, Yes, I know that was not clean at all. Sorry, my bad. But maybe you can help me out here. Am I kind of on the right track in trying to describe these chords? What key am I in? Let's see. I haven't really trying to give that some thought, and I'm not gonna talk about time signature. Let's see. Well, hold on. So the way that I would count that is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, which equals 8. So there's that. But to me, at least in the very beginning, that's how I would count it. But we're not going to get into that right now. I just want to do like some, I don't know, chord analysis here. Definitely a B minor, and I'm playing at the 9th fret. Then it goes down to this, what I'm going to just call it an F sharp minor chord, because it's not a D major 7. There's no D in there. And then you have another F sharp minor chord, but it's a different inversion of it, making it sound like a different chord. So so is it like maybe what I don't know, C sharp, you can call that A, and then you have the 3rd, but the F sharp, maybe what it is an A minor or A major with a sharp 5, A major sharp 5. Is that a better way to describe that? Hold on. Double sharp 5? Hell. 6? I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, how would I describe that chord? The one that is an A, C sharp, and F sharp in this context. How would I describe that chord in this musical context? Because I think what I'm playing in, key-wise, it seems like we have two sharps being C sharp and F sharp, which leads me to believe that I'm playing in D major, or some mode centered around the D major scale in that way. So I don't know if I would be playing in like maybe an F sharp or a F sharp minor or a B minor or something. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that it's a D major, but a mode around D major, because it's not sounding to me like it resolves on a D. I mean, I could put a D major into this and it would be fine as far as a chord goes, but I'm hearing a resolve more on the F sharp minor. So what would you call that? Maybe y'all can help me out on that. Maybe someone who watches this can help me out on that. Finally, you have this little area where there's an E flat and a B. And I think you can call that E flat an accidental. That's what I would call it, at least. And then also in the very beginning, let's see, there's a little embellishment on that weird D major, A major chord. C, it's a F sharp minor chord, where I'm embellishing with an A flat, which I would call again an accidental, because it's not a huge part of the piece. That's not around the tonal center. But I would call that one an A flat or a G sharp, one of the two. Anyway, that's what I'm working on right now. That's kind of, I guess you could say, it's an update on my musical and guitar journey. And we're going to see where this leads a little. I mean, I'm really just making these videos, I think, more for myself than anything else, because I'm enjoying it to a certain degree. It just, this is something that I'll be able to look back on and say, wow, that guy was a dork. And then we can move on and say, hopefully a year from now I can look at this and be like, wow, I'm actually better than I was a year ago. That might be kind of nice. You know what I mean? Anyway, past that, if you haven't already, I released a song called Unbecoming of a Gentleman by Bad TV. It is available on most, if not all, platforms. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and Amazon, and all these other places, I'm sure. Go take a listen if you wouldn't mind. I would like to hear some feedback on it. I like some of my vocal work on that one, and then kind of, I don't know, the way that song, maybe I'll tell the story of how that song came to be another time. But right now, I'm just kind of going to sign off and say, hey, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Come back again. Maybe check out another video that I have. Maybe something out here is interesting for you. I don't know. I just don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. All right. Thank y'all once again. I think we got the audio set up this time and the video. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off and say, see you next time. Bye.